Hello, I am Jaclyn Luongo, the Director of Sales and Business Development for PDO Max. And I am so excited about this vlog today. I have our guest, Paula Lillie, who is our amazing rep in the tri-state area. And we both have very similar backgrounds. And I'm super happy that we get to work together and collaborate together about the aesthetic category of PDO Max. So, welcome, Paula. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, and I can't
Sure.
wait to chat about our topics today.
Yes, Jaclyn. So, Jaclyn, I do have parallel lives. It's like we're sisters in a parallel universe together. So, I've been in the aesthetics industry. It was a change of life move for 30 years this year. I cannot believe it. And I started as an esthetician practicing probably about 5 years and then moved into sales and education. So, really, the past 25 years, I've been doing sales and education, starting with skincare lines when the day spa revolution happened. Then I moved
Yeah.
into mineral makeup when the mineral makeup revolution happened. And then I landed in the medical aesthetics, still a little bit spa, but more in the medical aesthetics the past 10 years, I would say. And,
Absolutely.
I consider myself a consultative salesperson, really, because I don't try to push products. I really try to educate them. And
Mhm.
skincare, small devices is really my arena. I don't get into the heavy duty capital equipment, but I learn about it.
Absolutely. And I think that again, our backgrounds are very parallel when it comes to mineral makeup companies we worked with, skincare, being estheticians. I have been an esthetician for 25 years, and I did the same with you. I pivoted a long time ago into sales and really even more selling through education. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're constantly asking questions, doing the discovery, educating ourselves so that we can keep a pulse on the industry and really keep it innovative. And that is the purpose of even today,
Yeah,
where we're starting to see an evolution in the aesthetic industry and how it really complements a lot of what the more clinical medical treatments that are out there, and why there's a great synergy with aesthetics and really medicine and aesthetics and some of these more advanced treatments. Hence, a PDO thread company that now is expanding with skin boosters and stampers, and potentially much more to come in 2025 as well. So I'm super happy to be just chatting about this. And I have a couple questions, and I know that we'll just organically talk about what we're seeing out there in the industry, and hope that this is helpful and just continuing to see the growth in this category and see the needle move in ROI. Hence why I have this slide up
hmm,
for our accounts and just for the customers that are looking to grow, especially their revenue in the aesthetic piece.
hmm.
So, Paula, tell me a little bit about how you help your accounts increase their revenue. What are you doing differently in that consultative way to, get them to see these numbers and, execute a plan to increase that revenue and their ROI, especially
Right,
for their aesthetic menu. I think that that's very specific to where your focus lies.
right. Because on the medical side, their biggest drivers of revenue are typically their Botox, their toxins and their fillers. Then they'll have their energy devices, and then they'll have their needling peels on that on the bottom, without really realizing there's so many factors involved. Because if it's a very small medical spa starting off, or nurse practitioners getting into the aesthetics, if they invest in capital equipment, they have to pay that off first. So there, our little aesthetic piece, they don't realize the huge potential to build revenue. I mean, just from that slide that you have up, that can generate 300 to five
Yeah,
to $500,000 if it's
right,
marketed
right.
properly. So
Absolutely.
what I feel is our clients are overwhelmed. and it's difficult for them. They have so many things going on. So from my part, I just try to make it as simple as possible. So if I'm introducing, for instance, when I introduce the boosters with the Glowpin, our boosters can be used with anything, not just within the Glowpin. So I make them aware of that. But my way to help them out is I take, I call it Dummies Approved. Those are my favorite books when I want to learn something. I read those all the time. But I put together everything for them. So I will create the menu for them. I'll tell them how to use it, but I'll keep a very simplified menu. We
Mhm.
might rename it too, depending on them. We might call it micro infusion technology. And we'll have two categories, skin boosters and regenerative. So our skin boosters would be something like our PDO AfterGlo or Lume Envy, and the regenerative could be their PRP and their exosomes, their higher price point items. So I break it down like that for them. And then I'll show them how, I'll kind of tell them how long. They're typically a 15-minute service, but really they need to block out 30 minutes because they'll cleanse, they'll prep the skin, they have to give that room time. So I bumped it up to a 30-minute treatment type of thing. But if they're just using the boosters with another type of service, whether they're using it with their energy-based devices, then it is only 2 minutes really, add on to what they're already doing. So
Right.
I will create the menu for them. And then the other important thing is educating the staff. So when the staff comes in, everybody learns how to do the treatment properly. And then we also include, maybe it's a patient coordinator or a receptionist, whatever they call, whoever's up front,
Mhm.
give them a bullet point list so they
Mhm.
can explain it. They're the first people that see the patients coming in, so they know how to do it. And often we'll use them as models, because this way, if they're the models, they felt it,
Mhm.
they've seen it, and they're excited about it. So that's typically how I'll introduce a new product or service into the
Yeah.
spot and make it really easy for them to do it.
And I like that touching the points of the person booking the treatments as well as rebooking the treatments. I think that there's so much value in that. And of course, you can talk about it so much better when you actually experience the treatment itself, the results of it,
Mhm.
but also that there is some, a bit of a pushback where if a patient is booked for a specific service, once you get into the treatment room, just really educating that practitioner that there's still a little room for upgrading and add-on services. So they may be booked for this one specific thing, but we as the practitioner are the authority and the expert in what's
Right,
best for their skin. And what's so great about this a la carte concept, that you're talking about is that additional minutes or even booster for post laser is not taking, you can allocate the time if you need to be able to pivot from the treatment room to really achieve the results that that patient is looking for.
right.
And sometimes the patient doesn't actually even know exactly what their skin needs, and that's why they're there in the first place. And they know what is concerning them for their skin or what they'd like to achieve, but they don't know how to get there. And that's really where we educate the practitioner how to do that, and then the practitioner educates the patient or
Exactly.
client.
Exactly. And that's why with the skin booster type of menu, we keep it really simple. We're not listing all
Yes,
the boosters, because then that
exactly.
takes it away from the practitioner, because then the patient is saying, well, I want that one or that one. And we
Mhm,
want to take
mhm.
control and give them what they really need to get the best results for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I certainly concur with that. When you're out there, on a daily basis with these accounts and, seeing the more popular treatments, but also you just brought up lasers and how you have to pay those back and, the ROI that we see on, small investment with a very big return.
Mhm.
What are you seeing out there that are the most popular treatments that are being now done that have the highest ROI?
Well, you know, you really have to break it down into different categories because every practice is a little bit different because you'll have a full-blown medical spa that has every energy device
Yes.
available, body sculpting, face, you know, and then
Mhm.
you have the smaller practitioners. So, you know, I think they would all say that their revenue drivers, you know,
Mhm.
starts with their Botox and dermal fillers, but they know that they have to cross sell
Mhm.
because that's the only way they'll be successful. Because if the patient's only coming in for Botox or dermal filler, then that's, you know, 3 or 4 months for Botox or maybe 8 months to a year for filler. So to keep that client coming back, you need these other things. And yeah, a laser might generate, you know, 1 million, 2 million, 3 millions in revenue, but they pay the laser off. They still have the maintenance
Yep. Yep.
packages that they have to purchase. So
Exactly.
they are shocked when they see the ROI for something that is a minimal investment to start with. They're
Mhm.
disposable items. So
Yeah.
um so they see the value. That's why the microneedling and Glowpin would be something similar. You know, that would fall into that category, is an amazing revenue booster.
Yeah. Absolutely. It
So
is.
it
Absolutely.
is in and of itself a great profit center, but you know, they can combine things and that's the beauty of it. So there are other really high profit margin aesthetic on the aesthetic side is combining chemical peels with everything.
Yep.
You know, that is a winner
Yep.
because peels can cost them from $5, you know, to maybe at the higher price point, you know, $80 per peel if
Yep.
they're doing, you know, from superficial to medium depth. And they're
Mhm.
charging, you know, for superficial peels, 150 and up and
Right.
300 and
Yep.
up for the other types. And those are really 15-minute treatments. So now if we
Mhm.
combine that with something like this,
Yep.
the patient gets
Absolutely.
a perceived value and they're upping their revenue. They turn it into a 30-minute treatment and up their revenue. Yeah. And again, we're talking about not just upping revenue, we're talking about significant, you know, one room generating 300 to a $500,000.
Right.
They just did that all day long.
It, with that exactly. And on top of that, that's one piece of it. The result that they're getting without the downtime as well.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we this blog will always be on our website, but specifically we are in the month of December.
Right.
And I
No
hear
one
very
wants social
often,
down.
yeah, right, exactly. Like now, nobody wants downtime, but they still want this glow. They still want this result. So, different times of year, it's really imperative to be able to deliver that with someone that can go out that evening and, have to still show your face without the downtime, but still wanting to get these incredible results. So, this is a win-win, from both sides because of that.
Yep. And you know, this little gadget is it's one of my favorite things now. And when the clients that get it, it becomes one of their favorite things because they're getting a dual benefit. Because it has teeny little pins, they are getting they're initiating the wound healing cascade without social downtime.
Yep, absolutely.
And
That's
they're
great.
applying their serums, their skin boosters.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's really a nice treatment, really any time of year, or
mhm.
to boost, the results for something else, or prepare the skin
Exactly,
for,
exactly.
these more advanced clinical services.
They go hand in
And yeah, and the other piece of this that there's a lot of buzz around series and memberships.
okay.
So, and really that could be two pieces, right? We have always sold series. A lot of times it's, buying a package that then has this added value to it. Anything that you want to maintain or see results should be done in a series of 3 to 6 or more.
Absolutely.
It's what we recommend in our protocol with PDO Afterglow, with the combo treatment of PDO Afterglow and Lumenv, our new PDRN serum. However, I'm also seeing this amazing trend, which makes sense. And even personally, as a consumer, I have become a member for specific things
Mm.
that, you get to experience monthly that have this added value to it. So, I see the value in it because it's accountability routine, it's less expensive in the year time, even though you're going to be doing it. I'm seeing it done in facials, I'm seeing it done with other wellness modalities and whatnot. So I'm excited for next year to see how memberships evolve and grow a bit more. What are you seeing out there in the industry when it comes to maybe even in the med spa market, when it comes to memberships, Paula?
I'm seeing a lot of my clients, mostly the med spas are doing it
Yeah,
more so than the private individual practices.
yeah.
And it is a big game changer for them. So they might have different tiers of membership programs. So they can include, like, if you get, membership A program, bronze level program, it might
Great.
include, a facial, something else. Then you'll have a silver and a gold plan. So they'll have
Yeah.
different membership plans. And from a few of my clients that I spoke with, they've told me that that has increased their revenue 20 to 30% per year,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it creates loyalty
Yeah.
to their location. Um, and the patients get better results because they're being consistent in
Mhm.
maintaining the health of their skin or whatever it may be, because some of it might include, laser, this, that. It depends on how they structure their rewards program.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
patients feel better because they're getting a benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the
Absolutely.
spas benefit because of the loyalty, the patient comes back to them. So
Mhm.
the patient also might get, some of them, the membership programs will include a 20% across the board discount on skincare. So
Mhm.
that is a game changer because a lot of our spas are losing revenue to the internet. So if they're offering that
For
within their
retail.
location, it creates again the loyalty, the reason for the client
Mhm.
to only purchase it from their spa because of
Yeah.
their membership discount. So um,
Absolutely. And, years ago, one of the selling points of doing a series was that the client or patient had already paid for their treatment. So when they did come in, they may be more open to, purchasing retail and spending, more dollars because they've already invested in their treatment. So they're not opening their wallet for that. They are able
right,
to, get the retail to support the treatments that they're doing, in the practice. So
right,
it again is a win-win. I think that that is going to grow even more for next year.
absolutely.
It's certainly something we have a pulse on, and want to support our accounts to do that. And I know all of you that are supporting the accounts out there as representatives and consultants, want to see that happen because it's just going to continue the growth and build business.
Yeah, and I just, my head is thinking always while you're speaking, and I'm thinking how, just something as simple as Glowpin
Yeah.
serum is one of the things that would be perfect for them to put into their loyalty program monthly treatment because they make such a great profit margin by using
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. And it's something that can be done every two
Yes,
weeks, but
yeah,
certainly every 30 days.
right.
There isn't that rule of, taking a break from it. Like that actually
Yes.
builds on the maintenance and optimal skin health, for your skin as the aging process begins. So
Yeah.
I think that again, it's an easy just plug in
Yeah.
to continue to increase the ROI, profit from, your treatments and utilize the time in the room wisely.
Mhm.
For sure. Well, I always encourage any listeners to follow us on social and reach out to us with questions. And, we're always here. We're always trying to add new assets and anything to support the business, and always coming out with, before and afters that are, solid to prove that our ingredients and products really execute these amazing results.
Mhm.
So please follow us on social. If you don't, reach out to us with any questions. And I can't wait to continue more vlogs and talk more about aesthetics as well. Thank you for joining us, Paula.
Thank you, Jaclyn.
You're welcome.